move might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spade, Alpha Male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good, and welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
It's your boy, Alpha Male G-O-D, 51 Spade, the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
Yeah, we got two exciting topics tonight. The first one is the difference between a person who really wants you and the person who's just staying around to keep someone else out of the way, and how to properly argue. You ready?
I'm born ready.
Which one you want to tackle first?
Ladies first.
Let's see. If I can probably choose the one I'll have less to debate about, it would be the one I think that happens to women all the time, where men hang around, not because they truly want you, but because they don't want anyone else to have you. I think that's definitely something that happens to us a whole lot. So I probably am only going to be able to speak from the victim's perspective.
And what makes you think men ain't victims, and what makes you think that women don't do that to men?
I didn't say that it could not
You said
happen,
it's a woman problem.
but I do feel like, from my personal perspective, that it happens more to women. And that's just because men are just known to, one, kind of juggle more than one female, more than one situation. And so when you're doing that, you kind of always have different people to choose from. So that pretty much makes it clear that it doesn't mean that they don't really want you. They want you, but they don't want you 100% if they got to have other situations going on. But as soon as you would say, let's say I felt that way, and I said, okay, well, it's cool. We don't have to be in a commitment, but I'm going to start dating. I feel like when that conversation is had, men automatically oppose. They don't like it. So society-wise, they don't like it. Women are supposed to traditionally date one man. And so that's why that doesn't normally happen to a woman, because you have norms in place that kind of keep that from happening enough that it's popular.
Man, women throw that catcher's mitt any time that a man is happy. Like, anytime we could be in a situation and it's like we could be cool and I could be chilling and I'm probably just fucking you, and the minute I mention that I want to move on, that's why they standing there. Don't act like that shit don't happen to men. And they don't, and the difference is they don't even have a situation going on. They just don't want you to have a situation going on with somebody else. They rather you fuck them, even if you tell them that the shit ain't even working out. But they stand there. If we calling it what it is, it's called cock blocking. So realistically, like, what they doing is they cock blocking. Sometimes they don't even really want you. That's the other side of the shit. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't want you, but they don't want nobody else to have you, because unlike what you saying, women be having men for every type of scenario that there is. If that man is fucking them good, then they want to keep them from dick, not because they want him as their boyfriend or anything like that. They be having men for money and chilling spots and shopping sprees and a trip buddy and all kind of shit.
Way less common than a man. A whole lot way common.
You a man?
No.
Okay, then how the hell you gonna tell me
it's
like
a landslide.
How you gonna tell me like what it is? Like, you are a man. You can't speak from some shit of a perspective that you don't know nothing about.
Okay, so I'll look at it this way. Just to piggyback off you said about when you switched it around from the women's side, how they will remain in a man's life, not because they really want them, because they don't want anybody to have you. First of all, I think that's where I'm going to draw the line. Because a woman who is staying around, whether you have 15 situations or 15,000 situations, she really wants you. She really wants you. So that automatically changes it because she does want you. That girl that don't matter how happy you are, no matter where you move to, no matter what you go through, when you text, she gonna answer back. That bitch really wants you.
But that's not the
She
topic.
just wants you to want her.
But that's not the topic. The topic is that they hang around because they don't want nobody else. So I don't
But
give
that's
a-
why I'm disagreeing with you because I don't think they hang around because that they don't want you. I think they do want you. You just don't
I
want
know.
them.
I'm saying the topic is they
I
hang
understand
around
the topic,
and
but I'm
don't
agreeing
and don't want
for that
nobody
reason.
when don't want nobody else to just have you. But it doesn't matter to me why she's hanging around. Whether she wants you to want, none of that matters. It doesn't matter the reason why. I'm not talking about the reason why because I don't care the reason why. But what I'm saying is, don't act like it don't happen to men. Like women don't just cock block your situation.
They can't cock block your situation.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. You could a dude can cock block a woman a lot quicker than a woman can cock block what a man got going on. Please.
Really?
Please.
They-
yes.
so a woman
cock
can't
block how? This is what
Okay,
a guy does.
so let me stop. So let
Go
me
ahead.
stop you.
I'm gonna shut your shit all the way down.
Since you gonna act. Do women Facebook stalk? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Do they social media?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not cock blocking.
Okay, so when they find out the person that you're fucking with, then they want to sabotage that. What is that called?
Sabotage.
I forgot.
It ain't called cock blocking.
I forgot who I'm talking
It's
to, y'all.
called
It's called.
sabotage.
I forgot. It's a L7. She's on a lower level speed. You know, she's a little bit mental, and I understand that type of shit. So I'm gonna speak it in terms because for her, it has to be in real simple terms for her to understand that she doesn't understand what cock blocking is. She only understand.
cock blocking.
She only understand this from a woman's standpoint, but
Okay.
don't understand that is what that's fucking called on any earth, any planet, on any form that you talking about.
Okay.
When she start blowing up your spot, that's called cock blocking. Period. Point blank. Like anytime she's trying to destroy some shit. Oh, you fucking with that bitch. Let me end this right now. You know what I'm saying, girl? You know he's still fucking me, right? Ain't nobody asked you that. But you decided to give up that information. That's called cock blocking. So I don't care how you break it down, and also don't even care if you don't disagree. Cause guess what? At the end of the day, you ain't no man.
No, what you have a valid point. I just
I know I
look
do.
at what the woman is doing a lot differently. Number one,
I didn't ask you that.
Number one, if you messing with a solid chick, ain't nothing she can say to the other chick that's gonna keep you from going. Cock blocking is being you are physically in the way and keeping someone from moving forward. Women do not do that to men. They will try. Men still can maneuver through that. I'm tell you what a woman can't maneuver through or what another man can't maneuver through. If I'm just fucking a dude and I don't know, he's made it clear we're in a non-committal relationship, but I've been fucking a dude for a year. In most cases, he got a key to my house. That ain't going on in that other situation that you talking about. That bitch can't just come be at your house while you got another girl over there. She might be knocking on the door, but she ain't walking in. In a situation with a female, the dude got a key. You don't know when he coming because he want it like that. He wants to do enough that you're comfortable, you don't have to worry about nobody coming over there anyway, and not enough to feel committed. He does just enough for a safe haven. Ain't no dude gonna be fucking no chick for no year and can't come over when he want to, ain't got no key, ain't never ate over there, ain't never met a kid, none of that. He's done enough to get a key. And that's how it's impossible for her to move on. You can't be on a date with another dude and somebody, just another nigga walking up in your crib. So what I'm saying is women give up way more to put themselves in situations to be cock blocked than men do. I get what you're saying. I'm not taking away from what you're saying. I Facebook stalked, yes, but that's not a detriment to anybody's relationship. I've never sent a message, but let's say I did. I didn't cock block anything. I told the truth. Your man fucking me and he fucking you. It's still a chance for you to fix that. She's lying. It's just stuff that you can do, I feel like, that keeps you in the game. On the other foot, if I'm dating somebody or trying to start over somebody and this dude that's been fucking me for a year got certain access to my life, I'm done. I'm dead in the water. What I'm saying is you have more potential to resurrect as a man in his situation than a woman has to resurrect in hers. Because like we've said on many, many relations, when you fuck me, we go together. So I'm trying to figure out what world you live in where this motherfucker been fucking me for a year and I got Todd coming over next Thursday and Sebastian on my email and then I got Texas coming through and going on different dates every week. That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't happen that way. If my head is on someone else, that's who my head is on. It's not on really a juggle scenario where I even have to question, well, I wonder if Tyrone really want me because Sebastian, he the shit. It's never that situation that I hear. Never. Ever. It's that Tyrone just won't go nowhere. Tyrone is there every other day. Tyrone want to be with you, really don't, but don't really know. But he does enough to make it hard for you to get out of the space with Tyrone. Understood?
You done bloviating? Like every time I turn around, you steaming up the goddamn fucking fog windows of these camera lenses for no apparent reason. Just cause you sound like you got facts, don't mean that they fucking are. You was putting me to sleep over here. I'm surprised I'm just waking up from my nap of you just bloviating too goddamn hard for me. So,
right, Stephen
so at the end of the day, we gonna put it like this, since you are L70, you just don't understand, because I believe, since you say we do the show Relations so much, I do remember you saying, hey, I got a friend and some of these women are savages. Now all of a sudden they don't exist. So just because I zip it. We done heard you bloviate enough.
Not bloviate.
You know what I'm saying? We done heard enough hot air out of you. So zip that shit up right now. Because just because you say I was telling the truth, snitching or whatever you want to call it, whatever word that women like to fluff and this and that, is called cock blocking, and that's just what it is. I didn't say that you can't get out of a scenario. I didn't say any of that shit. I'm calling it what it is. Just because you put shit on mashed potatoes and say, hey, that's not what it is. Yes, it is what it is. That's just what it is. So don't be sitting there saying, well, I told the truth, and he still has the chance to do this.
He does. It's fact.
No, the fact is that your ass was cock blocking
That's
because
sabotage,
you decide.
not cock block.
It's called cock blocking.
I think women do sabotage and men cock block. That's just how. That's period.
Of course, that's how you feel. I'm not telling you how not to feel. I'm telling you what it is. You can feel any type of way that you want to. You might think the sky's yellow. You might think the grass is orange. I can't change how you think. I'm telling you it's wrong. But hey, tomato, tomato. But you did tell me that there was savages out there, and all of a sudden the motherfucking bitches don't exist. Like, they can't. And just also let you know, I've been on every form of in a relationship with a woman there is, and I have been there when women have had other scenarios coming on. And like you said, if you dealing with a nigga that's solid, not them weak ass niggas you be fucking with, it's like just because you don't know how to juggle shit, I don't suspect you do, because you don't look like you know how to juggle at all. So at the end of the day, just because you can't do it, don't mean that bitches ain't out here doing that. I know plenty of bitches that, like I said, have niggas for every type of scenario. You're not finna sit there and tell me that, oh, well, that's not what it's called. It is what it's called. It's called cock blocking. So anytime that they stalking your Facebook, anytime they stalking you, anytime they want to have a conversation with the bitch that you fucking with that has nothing to do with them, it's called cock blocking. You can sit there and say it's sabotage. You can sit there and say, well, they're just living their truth. But at the end of the day, their hopes is, let me tell this bitch, so hopefully I can get him back on my side. It never works out that way, so I don't even know why women go that route anyway. But they try it anyway because they just don't want to see your motherfucking ass happy. They are cool with you fucking them. They are cool with y'all being platonic or separate or whatever the case may be at that point in time. But the minute you tell them bitches, hey man, this shit just ain't working out, I'm thinking I'm finna move on to bigger and better things, and you are lesser things, that's when y'all bitches go ballistic. And then y'all start, that's when all that cock blocking, or as you call it, sabotage, come into play. But he done already wiped that shit. He's trying to get rid of your ass. And far as I'm concerned, you told me you knew women like that. Now all of a sudden they just victims.
No, well, I would use the word savage according to the topic we were talking about. Now, I know some savages who have never done the shit that you talking about. So I'm gonna say I don't know what type of bitches you fuck with.
What you talking about?
I don't know bitches that juggle any type of situations, and I don't hang with bitches that really do shit like that.
I want y'all to notice that what she just said y'all gonna see a clip play.
Okay.
And since she don't know nobody like that, so you want to be tracked
I'm
that
not
now?
saying I don't know a lot of women like that. I might know one, but she still
You
ain't.
said you don't know no bitches like
she
that.
Still
doing shit that I'm talking about.
The energy is different. What I'm saying.
The energy.
Yes, it could be called the same thing, but the intent is everything. You can kill somebody and it's murder no matter what. So when you go to court for murder, you have a judge and a jury because why? Because they want to know the story. Did you hit this motherfucker on accident because you were on Ambien, you fell asleep at the fucking wheel? Or did you get drunk and hit the motherfucker and he died? That's why intent fucking matters. It is the same thing, but why someone doing something, their intent is what you have to take away from it. Yes, a person died, but this bitch is on sleeping pills. So we're supposed to give her 20 to life? No.
What's your point?
My point is people do things with different energy. So I'm going to say this. A woman who is completely trying to...
You don't have a point.
A woman who, first of all, the bitch that is stalking you on Facebook that you've been fucking for a year, that won't leave you alone no matter happy that you are, that's your motherfucking fault. You put her ass in that fucking position. How about that? Now debunk that motherfucking theory. She is in your fucking woman's. She in. I'm talking now. It's my turn.
You doing the theory?
You remember?
Right. The theory.
Do
is
you
still,
remember that it's my turn?
The theory is still.
I'll
right.
wait till you're done because I'm finna. Just like you say, I like to huff and puff. I'm finna huff and puff on your motherfucking ass. The energy is fucking different. You put a person in a woman who is around when you're happy and won't go nowhere is around because you letting her ass motherfucking stay there. A woman that got a dude that's been fucking around with her for a year, that's cock blocking her, is sticking around because he doesn't want anybody to have her because she provides something. There's two different energies in both of those fucking situations, no matter what. So yeah, I'm allowing this dude to hang around. He might not really want me. He's just cock blocking me, but I don't feel that. You know why I don't feel that? Because he's doing a fucking enough that I don't feel that. He's doing enough. That bitch that keep creeping around and texting you and getting you in trouble, there's no good intent in her. There's nothing good. She just a bitch. A nasty bitch that ain't got no fucking life. So the energy is different is what I'm trying to say. Now, do you understand that?
I understand you a moron.
How?
All that shit you just said. Shut it up. So I'm gonna show you how much. I'm gonna show you how much you a moron. Because the same shit that you talking about is the same bullshit that you sitting there.
How? He's doing good. He's acting. She's not.
If you
the bitch that
I'll let you tell you.
I'm not
it
done.
doesn't.
So the bitch that you keep letting come around because a person that you keep letting sabotage you, is that your fault or the person's fault?
Your fault.
How is it the person? It's your fault. If a dude can sabotage me, it's my fault. If a dude can sabotage my relationship that I have right now, it is my fucking fault. If a girl is stalking my relationship right now, it's the person's fault that keeps that lifeline alive. Period.
That's your fault.
A person can't sabotage your situation if they don't have no power in it. A bitch can't say he was at my house last night if his ass wasn't there. A bitch can't say I seen your man in the strip club last night if the motherfucker wasn't there. That's what I mean. Period. If you put the person in position, it is not the same thing. We're putting him in the same position. I might be putting a dude that I'm fucking for a year in the position, but I'm putting him there because he's giving me something good. Why are you putting your side chick in her position? Not you personally, but why is that person putting their side chick in the position to sabotage their shit in the first place? That's my question. I'm completely lost because she just won't go away. She won't go away because you keep answering her fucking text. She won't go away because you keep going over there fucking the bitch. She won't go away because of that. My nigga won't go away, or I won't push him out and realize he don't really want me. That he just there is because he keeps doing something to make me feel like, well, wait, he might. Yes, it's both the same, and it might be stupid from a girl's perspective, but the heart is different. I'm only doing because I'm feeling. He's giving me something. The only thing that you're giving a bitch that sabotages the relationship is some dick.
I'm trying to figure out on what planet, do you think that niggas is fucking with bitches that don't do something for them? If they hanging around, you ain't just giving them dick, okay? And secondly, you don't know what females are out here doing because females as stupid as you are and everybody else are. You know what I'm saying? They always provide something. So whether that something is, you ever pay the car note?
Yes.
Stupid. You ever pay for child support or a daycare?
Yep.
Stupid. You ever pay for I'm just saying because you just said like we just throw dick and you're gonna prove a point. So I'm gonna prove
That's
a point.
first of all, I didn't say that. The only thing that you're giving a bitch that sabotages a relationship is some dick.
But you just asked me what are females doing because I'm just throwing dick.
The bitch that keeps sabotaging, what is she doing? What is that's the thing I'm asking.
Like you said, I just said that. Damn, we really are on dog food today, aren't we? I just said to you that I'm not the only one, or any man ain't the only one throwing dick. Some of these bitches out here are providing shit besides me just throwing shit to them. So anytime, just like how that shit is that you just said, like, you know what? Need my baby daycare paid for today. We get someone like you. I'm a little short on my car note. We get someone like you. And you keep saying like, well, what do they provide besides you keep fucking? Well, I just said that they can provide a lot of shit. Don't act like men can't keep someone around just for pussy. We keep bitches around too because, like you said, different things. It's my heart that keeps making me, I don't know, make these type of decisions and have someone around. See, the thing is, you can huff and puff and make you think that you sounding good and make you think that you making a point. But you're not in everybody's relationship. Everybody's relationship have different scenarios that go on. Everybody ain't just keeping someone around just for the simple fact that they just fucking the person. And I also said, to stay on topic again, it doesn't matter what the person did on a male side or a female side. If you cock block, both of those scenarios are the same. So whether the person is around because he don't want you to be with somebody else or he's doing just enough, that's the same thing. And this other person is doing the exact same shit. Maybe I can change his mind. The woman is doing the exact same shit. That's why she's
change your mind by sabotaging your relationship. That's what I'm saying. There's way more wicked on that end than there is on this end.
I was not talking that. The word sabotage, for one, didn't come out my mouth. I was answering your question on why the bitch is around. So I answered. So just so you can't keep up, catch up. But just so you can't keep up, you just said, well, why are they around? Because all you doing is giving dick that way. And that is where you wrong. That is not the only thing that is actually going on. And I also said the reason why they sabotage, that's on them why they do it. Mm-hmm. I don't even care why they do it. I said that once the guy decides that he don't want to keep the bitch around for whatever reason, whatever she do after that, that is not the topic. The topic is, at the end of the day, she just don't want nobody with you. What she did the shit for, malice intent, whatever this and that, whatever you bloviating, it goes on both sides. Both people are doing the exact same thing. They're hanging around and they're trying to do just enough, and they also have other shit in their mind. One person is doing it for whatever reasons you're talking about, and another person is doing it for the reasons they're talking about. But it doesn't really matter because the people that's receiving the shit both have decided to move on. If they're deciding to move on and this person is just saying, hey, that ain't my pussy no more, then the answer to that would be no. But that don't mean that he ain't gonna do some malice shit.
You really missed what I was saying, because I wasn't off topic. What I was saying is this. A man who is in a relationship who allows another woman to stick around, who allows that, if she's sabotaging, that's not you don't even use those things in the same sentence, because the reason why is a man that keeps a woman like that around has already shown that guy that she's trustworthy. She doesn't hang around and snoop around your relationship to cause problems. She hangs around and snoops around your relationship to hopefully you see that one day, hey, look at me over here, and she's on her best behavior. That's where that would make sense to me. It would not make sense if you're painting a picture of a villainous woman who's hanging around sabotaging relationships and sending shit to inboxes, reaching out to the current person you're with now, Why the fuck would you keep a person around like that? And I'm saying that specifically because a man could dead that real easy. Look, bitch, don't call my fucking phone no more. Stop giving the bitch dick. Stop answering her texts. I'm sure if she didn't get any type of verbal communication from you or physical contact from you, the bitch is gonna fall off the face of the planet. And if she doesn't, you can get a restraining order. I'm just saying there are common sense things in that situation a motherfucker could do if he's really bothered and he doesn't really want her around to make the bitch go the fuck away. Period. Now, if you switch that on the other side, the person who's responsible, you made it sound like, oh, since you doing this and you doing that, you're stupid. It's your fault. I resent that. I do. I take offense to it, one, because yes, I've been in situations where I have paid for things. But I will tell you this. I ain't never had a motherfucker come up to me and be like, look, I'm gonna fuck you twice a week. I got mad hoes. I ain't shit, and I need my car payment made. That didn't motherfucking happen. I'm not that goddamn stupid. And when you say someone's stupid for shit like that, you are implying that the person is just outwardly fucked up. Outwardly a fucking bum, and you just decided to get him, take him home, clean him up, and take care of him. That I did not do, sir. That's why I made it clear that women in those situations have been convinced, or the other person has done enough to make them feel like this person is worth the nourishing. That's who I am. They did enough. Did they do a whole lot? No. Could you name some things they did that were clear red flags? Of course. But I didn't pick up a motherfucker and take him home and bathe him. I picked up someone I thought was worthy of my nourish. And so I nourished him, and I don't give a fuck about what he got from me because I got it back tenfold. I'm saying the intent is different, and to me, intent is everything. Intent is everything. It is the reason or the motivation behind the choice that you made. I made a choice to give somebody something that I worked very hard for. But at the time I gave it, I felt okay with that, and I felt like he did enough for me to say yes. When I look back and say, did he do enough in the outer rim? No. But I was also a different age and a different place. People grow every day. Could a motherfucker come into my life and do that to me now? No. But could a nigga have a side bitch from 6 years ago that could scoop back in and sabotage his relationship over some vagina? Yes. That is the difference. We're making choices and putting ourselves in situations for totally different reasons. That's why it matters. I don't give a fuck who it don't make sense to. I've been there. We are doing things for different reasons. You keeping that bitch around because you want her vagina or whatever benefits you're getting from her. That's fucking malicious. I'm keeping this motherfucker around that's clearly using me because I feel like he loves me. I'm lonely. Things that you should feel sorry about because you have children. And there's going to be a motherfucker that prey on them, and we're wind this shit back when you sitting over there laughing. Now, how about that? It's a real situation.
We will call it like this. Since you're so offended, we'll say, you're not stupid. You have stupidity, things that go on. So, sorry, my bad. Didn't mean to call you stupid. You did stupidity type shit. It happens to the best of us. I understand. Totally get it. Now, we'll move on to some more important type of shit that goes on since you over there just sounding like you got bass in your voice and thinking you setting me down. So I'll paint different scenarios.
Okay, good.
So since you don't understand, because I know you're a little slow. So at the end of the day, there's other reasons why other women be around. So it ain't just that a motherfucker stay around. So I'll use now real scenarios that go on. Just like I have a homeboy that his baby mama was sabotaging, as you call it, his situations. Mm-hmm. Not that he was fucking the bitch and no shit like that. See, at the end of the day, sometimes women be in your life and they're connected because of, I'm glad you brought it up, kids. Mm-hmm. So, since he's connected, he ain't keeping the bitch around just because. She's already fucking there. So there is no fucking getting rid of her.
Okay.
Now, on the, it's called touchy.
That's inside. I can't believe you just did that.
They'll figure it out later because she's touchy right now. So, feelings, you know what I'm saying? But also there's a thing that's called women scorn. So since you don't understand the level of that, what you're talking about, bitches don't start off one way and end that way. That's also why I brought up the baby mama. So don't tell me shit about no bitch just keeping them around just because. What you see in the aftermath of a bitch that's fucking sitting there doing that sabotage shit is a fucking woman scorn. And don't act like, oh, well, he could have just dated that a long time ago, because my homeboy did dead that.
Kids change that.
I let you talk. I let you fog the lenses up. I let you talk with that shit in your voice. Now you're going to sit in your place and listen. That's what you're going to do. So now, he cut her off. He wasn't fucking her. You can't jab her out of your life because of the kids, so she's still going to be around. Right. But you know the fucking difference is, when he started to elevate where he way was, when she was with him, and then guess what she don't like? The bitches do that type of shit because they feel like they deserve that shit. Not the new bitch that he went for. She feel like, I don't want that bitch to have that shit. Mm-hmm. I want to have that shit. That's why she's sabotaging his shit out the blue. Not that he fucking the bitch. Okay. Not that he's sitting there whining and dining and doing all that shit. Some bitches do shit just because. Because they fucking bonkers. Some of them, at the end of the day, they just scorn. Is that malicious? It's the same maliciousness that you talking about don't exist. But I just proved that it does exist. So the stalking that she does right now is because he's coming up. And he's just looking good. He making more money. And he's trying to share that with his new piece. Will that bitch go out of her way and be like, well, we still fucking even though it might not be true? Absolutely.
Is that truly effective?
I didn't ask. It's not action.
If he ain't really
it's
fucking
not.
with,
But
not effective.
The topic isn't about whether it's effective. The topic again is that the bitch don't want you with nobody else, since we can't keep on topic. So you keep bringing up this shit on why. I didn't ask you why. God damn it.
But we have to talk about why.
No, we don't. We don't got to talk about shit. The topic is they standing there in the way because they don't want nobody with you.
The actual topic is the difference between the two. So that's why both are valid. Switch to the next topic, which is how to properly argue. You start us off.
I don't need to start. Go ahead. You on the roll. Blow me some
learning how to properly argue, which is really what the show is a debate show. So I would actually, if I were in my home, the first thing I would do is, I can say argue because me and my partner do it well, but I think the word argue in itself has a negative connotation. So a lot of people who are arguing will, like, when shit gets heated, they'll be like, we're just talking though. We're just having a conversation. So that you notice the first thing you do is you remove the negative energy behind having an argument, which might work would be removing the word argument at all. That's number one. Number two, I think that people's first thing is to listen. I don't think you can probably properly argue if people don't have a fair chance to say their piece. And third of all, I think that once you listen, the first thing that you have to do is address what they said you did to them. I think my biggest Achilles heel is, hey, you left the refrigerator open. Well, you did the shit yesterday. That's not effective. The first thing you should say is, I'm so sorry for leaving the refrigerator open. I certainly did. You kind of have to take responsibility for what you did wrong. And I think the biggest bad thing about arguing is people don't like to take responsibility for how they made the other person feel. When you do something to someone, I feel like the reason why you did it could be valid all day. There's a reason why everybody does everything. Intent is everything. But just because the reason why you did it makes sense doesn't mean it changes how it made the person you did it to feel. That hurt me. So even though what you did, you can validate it and you can make it make sense to me, but it doesn't change that it hurts. So I also think people have to separate what they did, why they did it, and how it made the other person feel, because those are three separate arguments.
How to argue is different for different people. That might work for you. I doubt it that happens, because we don't live in that type of world. Like, I've dealt with a lot of women that I've watched argue. Like, first of all, there are arguments. So, like, just saying that it shouldn't be or you don't want to call it an argument is not what it is. An argument is argument. Some arguments are healthy and some arguments are just arguments.
Bad.
Some are like petty arguments and some are huge arguments. But getting back to what I was saying, like, I've watched people argue. I've watched women argue with me a lot of different ways. We have defensive arguments, which is most common what you say is you ask somebody a question, they can't answer the question. It's like at the end of the day, you ask them and they so gun-ho on trying to prove a point that they don't shut their mouth. So that's why I said, like, the theory that you're saying, like, people give advice all the time of like how they think it should go, but they don't take their own advice. So it's like you'll ask somebody a question and they might say some shit like, hey, you left the refrigerator open. Well, you did that yesterday. Well, that is most common.
That is most common.
Most people actually do. I've dealt with a lot of women that do that all the time, and that's why they can't get a proper argument out of their man. Because a man looks at that and says, well, this is bullshit from the start. Because when women start off on bullshit, it's typically how it goes. It's like you ask a question and it's followed up by not the answer. It's followed up by some bullshit that they can't just say, I did, or I'm sorry, or I fucked up. It just comes with a whole bunch of extra shit. That's just that it doesn't matter the reason. Again, like, since we don't understand this, since we just don't understand, again, the reason don't matter. Because if that was the case, like how you just said, someone asks a question and someone takes responsibility. What you're talking about are second level, third questions that the person will ask you why, if they want to know why. You assuming amongst yourself that the person want to know why. It's just a simple thing is, did this happen? Yes or no? Not why it happened. See, we live in this world sometimes, I feel like, because we done moved, and I get it. You know, I'm not going to say that I don't get it. We done moved into a world now where a lot of people are being put in this place where they feel like in a relationship, either a relationship is equal all the way across the board, and it's not true. Now, would that be fair? No. You have some women that don't go for it, and then that's why they single. You have women...
You can't say that.
I can say anything I want. We in America, right? Freedom of speech, right? Like, we going by fact a few minutes ago. Nah, I can't say something. I can say anything I want to say. And as a woman, you can say, I can't say that. But the problem is also in arguments, when people hear truth, they don't want to hear truth. That's the other part of the shit. That's why you sitting there saying you can't say that. I can say that because it's fact. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. Is a man, which I said again, you're not qualified enough to say how a man is thinking because you ain't one. That's why so many men a lot of times leave the house. That's why so many times, a lot of times, men don't even argue back. I was with my homeboy the other day and he was like, one of my biggest things is I don't argue. Like, my woman sit there and want to have all these things about her feelings and how she feel and all this other type shit. I'm not saying, again, if it's right or wrong, but you just told me a few minutes ago that, you know, it don't matter. It does. But some people operate different ways. And you have to figure out if the person that you with is a person you deciding that you want to be with, if they're that way. And listening to him say that actually reminded me when he said that, I was like, damn, that's crazy, because I just watched an interview with Nas, and Nas said his biggest thing is he doesn't argue. And he was like, and that's why he's not in relationships. He was like, his woman or the women in his life that he been around want to sit there and talk about their feelings and this and that, and he does not argue. Their thing with him was they couldn't get nothing out of him. And it was because of the simple fact that he don't argue back. Now, that's when I'm saying, like, you got to figure out, do you have people that want to debate with you? or do you have people that walk away from like scenarios? So all of those things are things where you can say how to argue, but it also might boil down to a person that you're actually with.
I'll say that, first of all, I know he's a unique individual, and I know some people that are like that who will choose to, Nas, that will choose to, if the other person is challenging them, to just walk away. The first thing I'm going to say about that is how it would affect me. Unless you have a way to effectively communicate with me and talk to me about what I'm feeling, then you walking away from me is basically just disrespect. Because you walking away from me is telling me I don't give a fuck how you feel. I don't give a fuck what I did. I don't feel...
Are you saying that's how you feel?
I'm telling you that's how I would take it. If I were having a valid argument with somebody and they completely just shut down and just walked away, you're telling me that what I am talking to you about is just not valid. Unless you have a creative way of, hey, I'm just not an arguer, but we're going to figure out a way that I will handle it. That's cool. But just to shut down and not want to tackle what it is that I'm saying is bothering me, that's very, very disrespectful. And that's someone, to me, that would show me that's the level of his commitment is at a 0. Okay? Now, what I will say is people have different love languages. And I just learned this. People have ways that they communicate. So just because I'm a verbalizer doesn't mean that my spouse is a verbalizer. That's why I said it like this. If I have an issue, you might have your own ways of dealing with that issue, and I respect your ways as long as you deal with the issue. But not dealing with the issue is saying I don't give a fuck about your issue. So if you don't want to argue with me, the first step of business is, then what do we need to do? Because I need to get this information out so that you can address the issue. So however you want to address it, cool, we don't have to argue. But you need to know how we're going to fix it. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to go back to what I think is highly, 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 highly important when you are communicating with your spouse. Again, you cannot go into it, well, it just ain't fair. Oh, well. You can't go in it with that type of attitude, because that's another sign of low commitment, disrespect. You're saying to me, I don't give a fuck what I did. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. Either you're going to suck my dick when we go to bed at night or you're not. That's a way that you treat a dog. That's not a way that you treat a human being who's being directly affected by your actions. Point blank, period. What I have to talk to my girlfriends about is just how to sit with emotion for a minute. And I'm only learning this not because I went to school for it or because I'm a perfect person. It's because I'm in these situations all the time and I'm just a fast processor. So within 5 minutes of an argument, I've understood what I said wrong, whether it was my posture, whether it was my tone, how loud I was. Did I focus on the petty thing and not the... It's a lot that you could find out about yourself and how to prove about yourself by just sitting with it for a minute. Sitting with what made you angry, and then remembering the last time you had an argument with your spouse, what happened when you went off. Just not doing that again. Kind of learning that when you touch the stove when it's hot, it's going to fucking burn you. So how do we properly execute? Another thing that you said was this, that intent or why doesn't matter. Let me tell you why it does matter. I come out of a highly abusive situation.
I didn't say it didn't matter.
It definitely matters. Let's say I'm in a rush. I pull up to the parking lot. I jump out of the whip. I left the whip on. I go to put the groceries down. Before I know it, my old man is outside like, did you leave the car on? You're telling me in that moment that only a yes or no should apply. And it definitely shouldn't. Let me tell you why. If I say, yes, I left the car on, and I get my ass rocked, and now I'm on the floor, it's too late for me to tell him that I had to fucking pee or I got diarrhea and I ran out of the fucking car to keep from shitting on myself. I don't think I would have gotten punched if I would have been able to say, yes, I have diarrhea. So everything is not a yes or no. Why someone did something absolutely matters, because the consequence is going to change. My consequences are going to change depending on why I did something. Period. So you cannot go into an argument with a yes or no mentality, because the other person doesn't have a fair shot to get a fair reaction. Did you leave the car on? Yes. Your reaction is you left the fucking car on, bitch, you got fucking punched. You didn't even give me a chance to give you enough information to have sympathy not to fucking punch me. The sympathy would have been my fucking stomach been bubbling at the light before the house, way back there. It's a surprise I didn't shit in your truck. I bet I don't get punched then. So that's why what matters, or why people do stuff, absolutely is at the top of the list. It matters. You can't just pop off because someone did something and that's it. You got to pop off after you find out why that person made that choice. You owe that person that, because the consequences they have to deal with are going to change depending on why they did it.
Just don't learn.
I do not like it. Oh my God, I'm going to pull my hair out today. Oh my God.
Just don't learn. Remember when I said a few minutes ago that women often use the word fair?
That's what you're going to use?
Now, I heard the word you can't a lot. You can't do this because that's not fair. You can't do that because I got my ass rocked. You can't. I keep hearing the word you can't. Guess what? Those scenarios, and since you was totally wrong again, I said when someone asks a question, they can ask second level, third questions after the fact. So never said not one time that you don't get a chance to explain. So clean the wax out your ears. So that was the first thing that I said. Secondly, in somebody, let's say country, state, empire, house, or whatever this and that, there's a set of rules. So those rules that you talking about, where you talking about this bullshit word that you can't, I didn't say that it didn't matter, but it might not matter to the person. And I'll give a real life scenario, and then we'll bring it back to you. See, when someone goes into court, and the judge is asking, "Did you rob the bank? Yes or no?" He doesn't want to hear that my children were starving and I've been laid off like 3-4 weeks of this and that. Because at the end of the day, as your example goes, is he going to go to jail because he committed a crime? Now, this is rhetorical. I understand. This is rhetorical. The point is that it does not matter all the excuses that he's going to give, because if that judge decides to give his ass 15 years because it doesn't matter, like, he's not going to take in consideration that
of course he is. That's wrong. You're wrong.
Can I finish talking?
Go ahead, but you're wrong. You're wrong.
He's not going to take into consideration if a law has been broken. Now, I'm not talking about how he judges him, but if the law is broken, he's not going to say, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just let him off because he explained it to me. That's not going to go down. I don't care where you at.
Said that. I said the consequences are going to be different. I didn't say he was going to jail.
I understand that. But what he's asking first is whether he did it or not. Then the person can ask second level, third questions. What I'm saying is when you ask somebody something and they're in the wrong, just say yes or no. I didn't say that you can't discuss on what's going on. The person might not want to hear the whole scenario. It depends on who you with. I didn't say that I didn't even say if it's right or wrong. But if you dealing with somebody that's gonna smack you, as you said, or hit you this and that, I'm quite sure anything that you say after that isn't gonna fucking matter anyway. So whether you had the shit, diarrhea, or whatever the case is,
nothing I say is gonna work.
Nothing you say is going to work. I mean, you painted the scenario, because I'm just saying, because really at the end of the day, if that person is not an understanding person for the simple fact that you left something on and your ass got hit, why?
I'm glad you said that.
I'm like, why in the hell is it going to matter, like, after the fact of that, if the person is already an abusive type person? I'm not saying that that's the case, but what I'm saying is, to an abusive type person, though excuses doesn't matter anyway. So the result is still the same. You still can explain the shit. I'm not saying you can't get it off. But will the result happen that you still met the consequence first? And then the person, can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm waiting for you to finish like 5 minutes ago.
Like, if that person actually does something, then that's why, because that's how it's running in that person's household. So that's why I brought it down to the simple fact of sometimes, I didn't say it didn't matter, but I'm like, depending on each scenario, everybody views things differently. Because how you also said about disrespect, like walking away. Well, walking away, a lot of times, I'm kind of confused on it. if someone walks away, you say you take it as a level of disrespect, right?
Only if they don't have an effective way to handle the problem. Because you told me, oh, he just don't like to argue. So to me, that means, well, he just walked away and we never got our issue taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So a person that doesn't like to argue just need to have some more tools in his toolbox so we can straighten out our problem. You don't got to argue with me, but you do have to fix the problem that we're having. That's what I'm saying. You do have to do that.
He doesn't have to fix the problem, and that's why I said that's why a lot of times when you run into people like that, that's typically why they single.
I will say this too. A person who will walk away or a person who wants a yes or no answer, that's the motherfucker that's going to get the yes and then say he don't want to hear no more. I've argued with that guy. Yes or no? Yes or no? As soon as you break down and say yes, but he walks away and don't want to hear no more. That's what I have been wanting to say for the last 30 minutes. That guy that's going to come back to you, well, now let's talk. After you done blew up and been a complete dick, now you want to come back and ask me second and third level questions. It don't work that way because now you've already been a dick. So and now I have a good reason why I did what I did, and you were a dick to me, and now I'm telling you why I did it.
Does that person come back and act those levels?
No, not the person that I've argued with.
Exactly.
The person.
That's what I was trying to say the whole time.
But you just said it's okay for him to come back. But if he
I said
let me finish. Just saying that he let me finish.
I'm just saying he can't.
He can't. But you cut me off and said he could come back and ask you second and third level questions. I'm telling you, the person that I personally argue with, who says, give me a yes or no, will walk away after I give him the yes or no. He never comes back and asks me no damn second or third level questions because he don't give a fuck.
That's right.
So
now, if that's the case, that's why I'm talking about you have to know the individuals that you with. Some individuals are not gonna or don't want to know those second level questions. So even if you gave it, it really wasn't gonna matter anyway. That's why I brought up the idea of fair.
It's not fair.
No shit. The world ain't fair.
Right. So it's okay if your homeboy committed manslaughter under an ambient pill, it would be okay to you for you to go during that case and for that judge to say it don't matter that you took ambient. It don't matter. You killed this young lady. So instead of manslaughter, 5 years, they give him murder, capital 1, 20 years to life. That is when everybody got a fucking problem. You can't pick and choose when fair is fair and what's not fair. That's not fucking cool. Of course, why you're arguing and how a person feels and why they made a choice matters to an argument, number one. And number two, if this was about me being a reformed arguer, I'm definitely sticking to my guns and I'm definitely gonna say, fuck your yes or no. I'm definitely gonna give you the reason why I made the choice I made because I keep dealing with motherfuckers like that no shit ain't fair in their head and they gonna use that philosophy on me when there's a good reason why I made the choice that I made and you want me to give you a yes or no so that you can walk away and be a dick and never come back and ask me why I did something. That's whack as fuck. I'm never gonna be that chick. I'm always gonna say, yes, I did it, but this is why. And I'm gonna tell you why probably 10 minutes before you get your yes or no, just so I don't give you the power to cut me the fuck off. That's whack as fuck. And to say that, oh, well, shit just ain't fair, to end a debate like that, like, really? I just have to deal with not ever being able to give my reason why I did something because shit just ain't fair? You have that same energy when your man facing either manslaughter for a mistake or a murder charge. That's not cool. And we should look at shit like that, a petty argument and a murder charge, as the same. Because both of those situations deserve the fairness to be heard. Because there's a reason why people do shit. Did you cheat on me? Yeah. Okay, bye. Did you fuck that bitch or did you call that bitch? Yeah. Okay, bye. That's not the way it works. In that case, everybody would be changing relationships every day like they change their underwear. The reason why relationships work is because the other person cares why you made the choice that you made.
On another episode of the long-winded Kana Lassiter
Show.
Show.
With you. Whatever. He just mad because I won today.
We bloviate about any and everything. It is just not one of those things. We're gonna move on into the tap in section, and this is someone sent me this. I'm not gonna say the name, but I will give the scenario of what happened. So I'm gonna read it like this. He had been dealing with his girlfriend. His girlfriend asked to peg him one day, and he let her do it. I'm not sure if y'all know what pegging is. Look that up. But he let her do it, and now he been watching gay and trans porn because of his sexual curiosity. Now she talking about she don't want to buy a boyfriend. So the question is, how you gonna turn me out, then reject me because you did it? So,
You gonna tackle that one, or you want me to?
first of all, I am a man trying to fucking figure out. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. So I'm gonna take it from your standpoint. It should have been fair that he had the opportunity to say that he didn't want to be paid because his feelings should have mattered. But in the real world, like really at the end of the day, man, like keep. I want to say keep hope alive, but hope have left. Every person is different. I don't understand. I'm always go with I don't understand. Right. But I'm gonna say that certain people sometimes, you know, and he didn't really go into details. I don't know how long they've been together. I'm not sure if he's one of those individuals that is, you know, they'll do anything for love. Mm-hmm. So this person is asking to do something, and you really kind of gotta make those decisions on whether it's worth it or not. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it wasn't worth it, brother. No way, shape, or form that was it worth it. But you found something out.
Right. I'm gonna say a couple of things. Number one is he did not just become curious about his asshole being played with. There's no way. There's no way he just now became curious because she just now asked him. For him to say, oh, okay, oh, honey, can I peg you? Well, sure. He's already had that desire. That's not something that he just fucking come up with. It's just too evasive. It's evasive. This isn't licking the bottom of my feet. That's non-evasive. Putting something in my anus is very evasive. And number one is he's always had that thought. Number two, I think that it opened up Pandora's box. And he missed the mark, or they missed the mark as a couple by not exploring that in a conversation in the beginning of their relationship, because it probably would have kept this disaster from happening if he was able to say, you know what, I always thought that maybe I would like a woman to go down there, or I'd like to maybe a finger or something. I don't know, how do you feel about that? And she would have said right away, well, I don't want no bisexual dude. So, and they probably would have never gotten together. So I will say they did themselves a disservice by not being able to talk about the certain things that turn them on as individuals in a relationship. And I blame her and him. I don't think it's any more her fault than it is his fault. He did not divulge how he was really feeling about his sexuality, and she opened up something that she did not have full control of because she didn't have all the information that she needed about her partner. And that's also her responsibility. Know who you're sleeping with.
Yeah. I partly agree with that. The other thing is, well, I don't agree is she might have not known. Like sometimes when you see something happen to someone and then, you know, like she might have wanted to do the pegging, but then once it happened and then she saw what was going on, it was kind of no way for her to give an answer on whether she liked it or not. Because something can happen in a split second and the person just get disgusted, like right there. Right. Thought they might have liked it and then was like, wait a minute, I don't like this. And, you know, that decision could have been there from there. Now, as far as, because she asked to peg, so it had, you know, from her end, it was the pegging that went on, and then it just transcended to something else as far as I'm watching trans porn and everything else. And that was the part that she might have not known was going to go. She probably was trying to keep it at a pegging situation, and he took it a step further.
While you were talking, though, I had like a Miss Cleo moment, because I have like vision sometimes. I think what happened was she saw something or found something recent that pointed to him maybe being homosexual or bi, and she needed a way to expose it. And that's where the question, what do you think about pegging? I really don't, like, this for both of them, this isn't something that just happened on a Tuesday. This is something that's been festering,
happened on
whether it was festering on his end, hiding his sexuality, or festering on her end, meaning that she ran across some shit and now she's like, damn, how am I gonna find out whether this motherfucker really gay or not before I go for any forward, you know? And she just put herself out there
Don't
to
turn
expose
him out.
him.
Yeah, but don't turn him out. I think it's both their faults, but bitch, don't turn him out. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't give her no right. That's like somebody
Already
saying,
turned out.
like that's like somebody saying, you know what I'm saying? Damn, let me see if that pussy look good. Let me just take it. Like you have to court the person and everything else. So with the same thing in mind, if that was a question that she wanted to know, no, don't go that far with it. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, what are you guys going to tap in about this week so you hear about it on another episode of Relations? My name is Kayna Lassiter, and you can find me on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at Kayna Lassiter.
Hey, it's your boy 51 Spade. You can reach me on both platforms, Twitter and IG. Send all your tap-ins to spadeperry@gmail.com. You're looking for the shirts at alphamalegodcreationsallday.com. Let's go!